Hi everyone, you're into your fifth period work. We're looking at different government policies and how to tackle market failure. The first one, in terms of awareness campaigns. Now you've got this in your notes on the page 119, and really what an awareness campaign is, it's an attempt by the government to reduce or to close an information gap in relation to individuals' private costs and benefits. Now these cause overconsumption of demerit goods and obviously market failure as a result, and underconsumption of merit goods, and again creating market failure. So in terms of these awareness campaigns, really what they're trying to do in terms of real world examples, it might be smoking issues, it might be overconsumption of alcohol or fast food, and so on and so forth. Okay. In terms of what the government is trying to do, it's trying to ensure that individuals have enough information so that they value the actual cost or benefit of a good or service fully. In the image you can see nutritional labelling. So for example, when people are picking up food, it gives them that opportunity to ensure that they've got the information needed to make the correct purchase. In terms of on the left, health warnings, that sign that says danger, smoking causes cancer, normally with some images showing the harm that it can do as well. Okay, at this moment you guys can click on the links provided. You've got two videos, they're both very short. You can write some information perhaps in the space provided on page 119. They're different videos to those, but you can put the information there, and really what you're looking for is the specific information on the private costs of smoking and drinking. Okay, put them in there, see what the government is doing to reduce that information failure. Okay, pushing on. Let's have a little look at what a demerit good looks like. So you have your supply curve, which is the upward sloping marginal private cost curve. You guys might want to label that. You have two demand curves. The first one with limited information, and then you can call it D2, the marginal private benefit curve with fuller information. Notice it doesn't say full, it says fuller. Okay, so it'll always be difficult to totally give people 100% correct information. All people have up-to-date information, so fuller information is more accurate. So if you think about where individuals would consume, it's where marginal private costs are equal to marginal private benefits. So they would be in an initial equilibrium at an output Q1 and price P1. However, if they had fuller information on the harmful costs of consuming cigarettes, maybe this could be found out through hard-hitting campaigns, health warnings and so on. This would reduce demand as consumers make more informed decisions. So with the demerit good, the demand curve would shift inwards, okay, from the marginal private benefit curve with limited information to that with fuller information, and as a result there would be a lower amount consumed of such a good, in this instance perhaps cigarettes. Okay, so an awareness campaign is designed to inform consumers so that they will reduce demand of demerit goods. Okay, on the other hand, with a merit good, okay, again you've got an upward sloping supply curve, marginal private cost. Your initial demand curve this time is the marginal private benefit curve with limited information, and your new demand curve is D2, which is your marginal private benefit curve with fuller information. So with a merit good, something like healthcare or education, with fuller information, by providing individuals with better information, it should increase demand as consumers make more informed decisions. As a result, the demand curve would shift outwards from D to D2, so it's the marginal private benefit curve with fuller information, and more of a merit good would be consumed, such as education or healthcare. Let's just have a little look at the table and the column on the left hand side. What do health warnings on cigarette packs do? What are the advantages? Well, clearly it's smokers who are actually going to read the packages. The information provided is very clear. You can see the images. It's relatively cheap to implement, as the cost is passed on to the manufacturers. They're the ones who have to print the labels. Disadvantages, there's inelastic demand. You're targeting people who might find it difficult due to the addiction or habit forming good that they are consuming. Quite often as well, people again will discount or misjudge the private costs because they don't feel the full private costs until further down the line. And again, some people will smoke because of social pressures. Give yourself 6 minutes, so 3 minutes on each of the next two the next two scenarios: road safety signs and 5-a-day campaign. So 3 minutes, 90 seconds on the advantages and disadvantages of each, 6 minutes in total. So press pause and have a real think and see what you can come up with. Okay, hopefully you've had a good go. Just in terms of road safety signs, key advantages there. Useful reminders and accident hotspots. They can be standardized, they can be provided and funded by government, so it's understandable for everyone, and significant negative externalities from road accidents are reduced. The disadvantages, there can be so many of them, it's easy for the brain to miss them. It may not stop people who are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and some people just think they're visually ugly, and that there's a cost to people of that. In terms of the 5-a-day fruit and veg campaign, the pros are extremely easy to understand and remember, integrated into many programs in school and supported by the industry. The disadvantages, it's very simplistic. If people choose sugary fruits rather than healthy veg, then perhaps the benefits aren't quite so great, and also fruit and vegetable can be very expensive and difficult for people on lower incomes. Okay, just very quickly, trying to develop your writing. If you were in a situation where you had a question and you had to think about evaluative reasons and trying to come up with a chain of reasoning, these are the sorts of statements that you could use. Okay, so one factor that impacts on the effectiveness of information provision for tackling, let's say, cigarettes is, okay, and maybe a hard-hitting campaign. This is because. Furthermore, a good example of this would be, and give a real-world example, and then you can say this attempt at information provision was effective or not effective because, and maybe you can talk about the habit forming or the inelasticity of demand. Okay, so that's quite a nice way to layer your writing and make sure that your writing is fluent and is effective. Okay, so by all means screenshot that. Make sure that you've got a copy of that at home. Okay, pros and cons of awareness campaigns. First of all, the pros. They close information gaps associated with consumption, and this should reduce demand at all levels and move the market closer to the social optimum. Okay, so output and price should be adjusted. In terms of the drawbacks, well, it's the government who runs such campaigns and notes that there is an opportunity cost. Whenever the government spends money, consider what was the next best thing they could have done with that. Also, evidence suggests that such campaigns may not be effective or may not be effective on their own. Some of these goods are habit forming or addictive, and so watching a 30-second video may not change someone's mind. So either the government may need to consider other policies such as regulation, indirect taxation and so on, or alternatively what they can do is that they can use this as part of a multi-policy approach to tackle consumption. Okay, I hope that's been useful. By all means, play anything back that you need a hand with. Okay.